A very good morning to all of you. Welcome back the chemistry section. I hope you all are fine. Okay, children, are you interested in chemistry? Okay, fine. Today we are going to discuss, or we are going to start our topic by liquid gas interconversion. Please open your book. All those who don't have the book, please stay on video. Okay, students, liquid gas interconversion. When a liquid is heated to a particular temperature, it forms bubbles throughout its bulk. This phenomenon is called boiling. The corresponding temperature is called boiling point. The formation of bubbles by heating a liquid, that is called boiling. The particular temperature a liquid changes to gas form, that is called a boiling point. At the boiling point, a liquid gets converted fast into the gaseous state. That is why you see all the bubbles. The bubbles you have seen in the boiling of water, that is because the water changes to gaseous state. On being heated, the molecules move still farther apart. By heating the particular water, again the molecules move still farther apart. The intermolecular force becomes too weak. Then the intermolecular force, we know that comparatively gases and liquid, in water or liquid it is more. In liquid it is more intermolecular space than the gases, we know that. By heating the liquid, the intermolecular force that becomes too weak to hold them together, hold the molecules together, and a gaseous state results. Among common liquids, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius, ethyl alcohol at 78 degrees Celsius, and glycerin at 290 degrees Celsius. However, a liquid slowly evaporates, that is, changes into vapor even without boiling. You may have observed that water left open to the air slowly evaporates. For the evaporation, there is no need to heat again. It evaporates its own by the air temperature itself, ordinary temperature itself, evaporation happens. A substance still exists in the liquid state only below its boiling point. So, when a substance in the gaseous state is cooled, it will change to the corresponding liquid below its boiling point. This phenomenon is called liquefaction or condensation. When cooled, the molecules of a gas becomes energetic and some come closer. When cooled, the molecules of a gas become less energetic and come closer. As a result, intermolecular force increases and the gas becomes a solid. The intermolecular force increases by cooling, means the molecules get less energetic and come closer. As a result, intermolecular force becomes more and the gas becomes a liquid. Now, another question is, are vapors different from gases? Vapors are the same as gases. Both are in the gaseous state. Substances that ordinarily exist in the gaseous state. Example, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, etc. The substances that ordinarily exist in the gaseous state are called gases in this state. However, substances that ordinarily exist in the solid or liquid state are called vapors in the gaseous state. Thus, in the gaseous state, sulfur is called sulfur vapor and water is called water vapor. Please underline. And some solids vaporize directly. Some solids vaporize without melting, a phenomenon called sublimation. That is called sublimation. Some solids vaporize without melting. That process is called sublimation. You must have observed that a mothball or an air freshener, O'Donnell, kept in the open slowly becomes smaller and finally disappears. Maybe you have seen naphthalene bowls, mothball and air freshener. In fact, it is made up of a chemical called naphthalene which sublimes. These are made up of a chemical called naphthalene which sublimes at room temperature. And another example, that is camphor, that is also sublimes at room temperature. Another one, iodine and ammonium chloride. These chemicals also sublimes when heated. So, these are called sublimate. Okay students, now we will discuss about the composition of matter. We know that matter is ultimately composed of elements. Then what is the definition of elements? A substance that cannot be split into simpler substances by a chemical means or chemical reaction is called an element. Please underline this part, it is very important for you, it is a definition. Okay. A substance that cannot be split into simpler substances by a chemical means is called an element. You have to do as a homework this definition, write and learn. For example, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, carbon, sulfur, iron and copper are elements. These are few examples of elements. Please underline it. Elements are represented by symbols. Elements are represented by symbols. Thus, hydrogen is represented by the symbol H. You please mark it, H. Nitrogen by N, oxygen by O, carbon by C, sulfur by S, iron by Fe, copper by Cu, etc. So, we can simply that H for hydrogen, N for nitrogen, O for oxygen, C for carbon, S for sulfur, Fe for iron, Cu for copper. Okay. These are the symbols of some elements. So, we can say that elements are represented by symbols. When two or more elements chemically combine together, a compound results. When two or more elements chemically combine together, a compound results. A compound can be split into its constituent elements by chemical reactions. Okay. A compound can be split into its constituent elements by chemical means. So, here is the definition, of a compound, that is here, please mark, a substance that can be split into simpler substances by a chemical means is called a compound. A substance that can be split into simpler substances, that is called a compound. For example, hydrogen combines with oxygen to form water. Water is a compound. So, water is a compound because by the combination of hydrogen and oxygen water formed. As it can be split into hydrogen and oxygen. It can be split into hydrogen and oxygen. We know that the equation of chemical formula of water, that is H2O, the combination of two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen forms water compound. Also carbon dioxide, CO2, carbon dioxide CO2. Carbon combines with oxygen to form compound carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide can be split into carbon and oxygen. Now we will discuss about the topic atoms and molecules. Okay. So we are going to wind up today's class. Wait for next topic, atoms and molecules, for next session. Okay, have a nice day.